Okay, usually this seal that goes in the flange is going to look like that. This is what it's going to look like for the new one. This side goes into the flange here. Just grease this up a little bit and it'll push in. We got our nut, we got our shim for back here, and our rear seal. For our planet, we have bearing snaps in place here. We have a shim here. The sun gear has already been popped back into place. The bearing that's in there needs to go in first, then pop your bearing onto it. If you take it out, you don't need to take it out. This bearing pops on top here. This bearing, or sun gear, goes in here, and the race is going to sit on top. Planet's going to go in here. Go ahead and do this drum. This is B clutch. To do these bushings, I got a new tool. It is a blind hole puller set, and I've used it several times now. I'm going to do a video on this. Got this off eBay for like 60 bucks, 65 bucks, something like that. And it works pretty good for pulling that bushing out of there, so you don't take a chance on screwing up the sleeve like I talked about. Also works real well for the bushing on the E-clutch. I'll talk about that when we get there. Alright, you do have to be careful about where you put some of these bushings, so do measure where they were. This one you have to be down past the feed holes here. You want to be pretty much even with that surface there. You don't want to block the holes down in the bottom there. And like I said, some of these are critical on where they go, so pay attention to where they were. On our sealing rings here, they go together just like that. Make sure they're not like that, and that you don't open these too far. You can break the back of them and never know it, and they won't seal properly. So just open these up just enough to get them into position. Other one. Okay, on the back is this race. Lip goes up. And on these pistons, some of these are pretty dang close to being the same, so you gotta be careful that you get the right one in the right spot. So we're going to check this one here. Whichever one fits the best here, the other one should be proper for the other. Alright. That one we're going to put here. This one we're going to put here. We'll ball this up. Okay, we got Belleville plate. It's going to sit on top here. 2 half-moon keys. We'll press this down enough and we can slide that in there. And then when they're in there, we want them to be like that. And I don't have a camera over there, so let me go do this. Okay. Start with the cushion plate. Alternate stills and clutches up. No, I do not soak my clutches. If you want to soak your clutches, more power to you. I get that comment more than any other. I've never seen the difference doing it and not doing it. And who's right anyway? Some tell you 15 minutes. I've seen as much as 2 hours. I mean 2 hours, an entire day. So if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't. So I'm missing a steel and a clutch. So maybe these are in the wrong deal. That's probably what I got. I probably got myself mixed up here. Let's get these here. Yeah, I bet this comes out right. And you may have an extra clutch in a couple of your drums. Don't get too excited about it. These kits fit several different units, so alright, that's better. C and D clutch. This is a C. You have an O-ring here, and you got 2 O-rings that are going to come in your kit. You're going to pick the one that fits your piston the best. Belleville plate here, 2 half moons. We're going to do these half moons just like the others. It's going to be sitting in there just like that. We're going to do these at the same time, so we'll go ahead and get this other piston together. O-ring on the outside, O-ring here. O-ring here. O-ring in here. Balance piston. Okay, our bevel plate on top. We have this ring that sits on here, and I forgot I gotta line this up. This little notch right here has to line up in balance piston, and this little notch has to line up on this right here. You can see where our marks were for our bevel plate. So that side faces down. So let me turn this. Probably going to have to take that back out of there. See if we can get it to turn. Alright, it looks lined up there. Right. Bevel plate, we're going to have to get that kind of centered. The snap ring in here, short end of the taper up towards us. We'll want the opening away from any of those openings, either one of those. We'll put it over here somewhere. Here we have this ring that goes around. If your snap ring's not in all the way, this is not going to seat in there properly. And the bearing pops on top. Bearing pops on top here. Okay, cushion plate. Alternate steels and clutches, and we are at a stopping point, I believe. I've got a transmission that's in the way. I'm going to have to wait until it gets out the way. The valve body kit has not showed up yet. Cushion plate, alternate steels and clutches. When this goes into the case, these need to be kind of in the center. This is going to line up at the 6 o'clock position, and then our beveled snap ring is going to go on top. B-clutch, got an O-ring here, and then we have kind of D-shaped rings on the outside of this one and of this one here. Let go. Bevel plate with the dish up. And then snap ring out here. If you look on your snap rings, there's a taper to the tips. You want the shortest end to be tapered like that. You want the short end up. And this one here, you're going to need a pair of snap ring pliers like that. Okay, cushion plate, alternate steels and clutches up. Okay, you have two races, they snap together. Bearing snaps into your sun gear. This all sits down inside here. And then bend those tabs back over to hold your planetary into place. Oops. Okay. Have an O-ring in here. Here again, the O-rings are going to be pretty close, so we're going to find the one that fits on here the best. And the other one goes into here. Sorry, got it upside down. This is the other bushing that I use, that blind hole puller to get them out. And our bevel plate goes with the dish up. Our balance piston. We have this retainer. The dish goes up. Snap ring is going to sit inside of it once we're done. You want the opening of your snap ring away from these openings right here. This bearing's going to sit on top. This bearing snaps into there. You have sealing rings again. They go together just like that. And again, you want to be careful with these sealing rings. Just open them enough to get them onto the ring land. I guess we need to put the clutches in. Wave plate, alternate steels and clutches all the way up. And add an extra clutch here again. These little tips on the plate face up. Okay. Okay, we're going to put this assembly together. Make sure your bearing is on there, your race is on there. And this bushing fit a little snug on the hub. So I'm going to put the clutches in after. That way I don't have to try to fight everything all at once. Okay, make sure your bearing's up the side of your hub. There's a little tip on your hub here. There's a cutout right there. Okay, on my front seals I put 3M weather strip adhesive, just this stuff, and make sure that your seal, the lines are going the same direction on your seal. If you do have to replace this bearing, you may be able to get the bearing by itself, but probably buying a whole pump. And there's a snap ring underneath the seal here that you take out, and then the bearing will come out. I haven't seen one bad yet, but I'm sure one will fail. Get you some kind of line-up pin to check your clearances on your pump. I gotta find them, but usually we're somewhere between 3 and 5 thousandths on most all of this stuff. And you're going to be checking the clearance between, let me get this out of here, clearance between the gear and the outer part of the pump, the tip of the gear and the crescent here, the tip of the gear and the crescent there, and then you're going to want a flat edge and check the face clearance here. They call it end clearance right there. Like I said, usually it's 3 to 5 thousandths. You want it on the lower edge. O-ring here. Lube that up. And lube up that pump plate here, and then it'll only line up one way. Put that on. Put this piece on. And we're going to put our stator in. And I'm going to have to take this to the arbor press and press this in. Just going to make sure that this is all lined up, and then press it in. Here's our bolts. Well, let me press this in and then we'll talk about the bolts. Alright, you got long ones and short ones. You can't mix up where they go. 88 inch-pounds on these. They're 30 torques. And this is turned just a tad. Oop, too much. Well, got two sealing rings, a big one and a small one. Can't mix up where they go. They're hook and loop. They go together just like that. And then we have our adjustment shim for our end play. You can put it here, or you can put it on the front of the planet that sits on the behind the pump here. Okay, rocker ball, and rocker ball. The rest of these, 6 of them, they're 218 thousandths. There. gray check valve, gray, gray, and blue, and filter. Sonex kit is going to come with spring and an accumulator that's going to fit in here instead of this rubber tip. Usually in the kit you'll get that and it just pops in there. Always change these if you're going to do this style. I put the Sonex ones in, so we got to wait for those to show up for that. Oh. New separator plate. Make sure your check valves poke up through the plate like that. Alrighty, this is the new dampers that we have. Spring is going to go up in the back of them, and they're going to go in there in place of the others. Now notice that the valve body castings numbers are the same as the 6HP34. Separator plate number is the same, but small parts are in different positions. Alright, let's make sure everything is still the way it's supposed to be. Looks like it. All right. All the valve body bolts are the same, except for the ones that hold the computer on. They are longer, so you're not going to screw up where they go. Okay, go ahead, leave that loose. Put our computer assembly on. The dowel pin has to line up in here and over here. And we have to line up our linkage has to line up in that slot right there. Now be careful when you flip this over, you don't break your speed sensor. There we go. Alright, so the long ones go there and there and here. The rest of them are the shorter ones. Alright, all I have to do is tighten all this down, and then this goes in right there. Comes around that bolt head right there. This one right here. Oh, before we do that, this has to hook into there. And plug that into there. Alright, I'm going to get everything set up so we can put everything in the case. Okay, feed ports at the 6 o'clock. Gotta line up our lugs. Try to go as evenly as you possibly can, and don't try to push it in. Just let the weight of the support kind of do the work for you, if it will. There we go. I think we've got one more clutch to go. Okay, it looks like it's down. Opening of our snap ring is going to be about the 5/30. Both sides of the snap ring are beveled, so you don't have to worry about that. Try to keep from hitting the camera if I can. And let's see if we can get the snap ring pliers in there. I think the bell's too narrow for mine, but we can try it. Okay, it does not want to stay on my snap ring pliers, so we will forego that. Alright, make sure your bearings down in there. Your race is on the back of your drum. Bearings on the front. Sounds like we're down. Make sure the bearings on the front there. I think I already said that. Put our drum assembly in here. Okay, now you can either put the shim on the back of the pump or you can put it down into here. Lube up our case, lube up our pump O-ring.
Hey, you built it all, right? Huh? You built it all, right?
Make sure your opening's at the bottom. You have to give this a little twist to get the splines to seat. Put your new seals on your pump bolts. Actually, these aren't the new ones. Thought I'd already done it, but I haven't. All right, draw this down. Make sure that your end play is right. And then 88 inch-pounds on the torque. All right. O-ring for torque converter. That's the wrong one. And that's the right one. Grease that up. Okay, if you want to do your, when you do your linkage seal, if you want to take all this out, there's a roll pin here. There's a sleeve spring goes in a hole down here, goes in a notch over here. There's a nut and a bracket out here. I usually just take a pocket screwdriver and pop the seal out, then lube up. They're going to give you two seals because some of these have one on each side. It goes in this way. I just lube it up, and usually it'll push in, but if you need it to go in a little bit further, I just get a socket that fits around it and knock it in as far as it needs to go. I don't take all this stuff out normally. I did on this one to record and document all the stuff on the Patreon side. So if you're interested in how all of it comes out and goes in, it'll be over there. You got a new bridge seal. Put your rubbers in. And it goes this way down, kind of snaps into place. You get new seals for in here. A little notch has to fit in here, of course. There's a long one, goes here, medium, too short. Kind of lube them up and it'll help them to slide in. And this holder is not made for this transmission, but it works good enough. You can see that it's moving around a little bit. Make sure all this is getting into the picture. Alright, now this is going to be in the way. So let's take this out. It helps to have two people here. Your linkage is going to have to line up inside of that. Alright, you're down. Okay, all your valve body bolts are the same except for the bottom three. They're short. Can't screw them up. 88 inch-pounds, I think, was this. Something like that. Well,
where are they? How shot it? Trying to think, see if they have.
Okay, pass-through connector has a flat seal like that. It goes on the end. Two O-rings. Alright, there's a line up. You got to line it up with your connector in there, and then it'll just push into place. When it's all the way up in there, then this will push down. Alright, I don't know. Oop, my board fell out. Let me resituate this. See if we can get a view. I don't know how well this is gonna work. We have our shim goes in here, then our rear seal. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this on camera because I'm going to have to maneuver this, and it's not going to get back here anyway. We have our seal that we put in the flange, and then we have our nut. Put a little bit of red Loctite on here, and this is 88 foot-pounds. Every one of these, let's see if we got one out here. I don't think you can see this. Right there, there's a plug. There are several plugs around this case. Each one of them has a flat seal on them like this. Just dig that seal out, put the new one in, and put that on. The last thing is our pan. Make sure there's an O-ring on it. If there's not, put one on it. Go ahead and lube that up. Make sure that the gasket is in there. Kit's gonna come with one. There's the pan bolts for that, 40 Torx. And what were they? 25 foot-pounds. And that's it for this transmission. We'll catch you on the next one.